App towed my car from its paid spot and is now at auction. Help sad face. Hope this is the right place to post. But that's the long story short. I would appreciate suggestions or advice anyone has to offer. The longer version is I live in Denver, Colorado in an apartment I've been in for over a year. Starting since May, I've been remote working from home because of the pandemic. In July, my mother had a bad fall, suffering a compound fracture of her fibula, tibia. She lives in another state. I was able to support her recovery and just generally help her navigate the struggles of being old, temporarily handicapped, and in a pandemic by traveling back and forth working from there. Which was fine because of my remote work situation. I was at her home for 2 main blocks. The first was right after the emergency from a couple days after, when I was able to pick her up after surgery's 3-day hospital stay. I stayed for about 3 weeks, came back to Denver to check on things for another couple weeks, and then went back to her place for another 5 to 6 weeks. I wanted to stay at least until she could be weight-bearing, start PT, and drive. This second block is when I was towed. When I got back home, I went to my numbered spot in the app's $100 per month private parking garage to find my car not there. After a good amount of confusion, I found an email notice about cleaning and repainting the garage, and failure to have cars moved during this time would result in them towing the vehicle. Fast forward to when I figure this all out, I call the towing company and they tell me that after 30 days they go to auction. When I asked if I could do anything about this and telling her what happened, she said that there wasn't anything I could do. I understand that this is technically on me. I should have been paying attention to my personal email. It's mostly spam and I have everything set up to auto-pay. I'm wondering if anyone had any thoughts, suggestions on my predicament and how I might get my car back or anything. I would really appreciate any feedback. This is too long already, but I thought I'd add the details that in my mind at least offer some mitigating factors. The car is mine, no loans. The initial email notice was very vague. They notified us Thursday it would be starting Monday and to not park from 9 to 6 there. Then the work didn't start till Tuesday and they just did one floor. That morning they sent out a schedule with each day going on a different LVL each day for power washing 9 to 6, then around again to painting 9 to 11 p.m. However, at the end of the next day they postponed the whole project TBD because of poor contracting and wanted another crew. So at that point I would have already had to move my car for 3 full days with very little prior or regular warning. They eventually rescheduled it for a week later. My car must have been towed on the first day they said they would be working, even though they didn't do anything, because the rescheduled dates doesn't leave 30 days for the tow yard to send it to auction. All of that confusion, and not once do I get a call, SMS or email that I had been towed or the 30-day period. And yes, they have the info, we have numbered spots. But of course I owe them $5 utility fee that wasn't calculated correctly into my bill auto pay, and they're on me like bounty hunters. It's been a pretty shitty couple of days, and I know I can't go to these management PPL with hope for compassion to help me out, so I'm posting here if anyone has a better strategy. Start by checking the contract of your parking spot. Does it provide conditions that they can tow for, and is this one of them? Does it perhaps include a section about following condo, apartment rules? If no to both of these, they likely had no right to tow your car. Worst case, you may be able to go after the apartment complex. The initial email notice was very vague. They notified us Thursday it would be starting Monday and to not park from 9 to 6 there. What do you mean by this? All of that confusion, and not once do I get a call, SMS or email. You need to follow up on this. Is the area sign informing people that towing is used in this location and a number to contact the tow company, even if they're not required to contact you? I would expect at the minimum they need to provide details to contact the tow company. There are Colorado state laws that require a towing company to inform you that they have towed and are holding your vehicle. Did the tow company contact you? Does the contract for the parking lot state the conditions the car can be towed on? Because they can't suddenly decide to tow the car without knowing you have officially read the conditions. Colorado has specific laws in place for this. These laws are currently working in your favor. You might want to have a paper trail with them even if you're pretty sure they won't do anything. Sorry, I can't help more. Have my upvote for visibility. My apartment complex is also this bad at communicating. NAL, but I would check into auction after 30 days. I have some experience with a tow company. In my state, they are required to send 2 to 3 certified letters to the registered owner. There is also a requirement to post an auction notice in a local newspaper. This is a highly regulated process and takes longer than 30 days. Finders keepers, losers weepers is not the precedent here. Parking professional here. WA state. If your spot is reserved, as in your spot is assigned to you, the rules might be different. Look at your agreement with the complex and see what it says about notice for having to vacate the stall. If it's not reserved parking, you're probably out if luck with the tow fees. However, your complex might actually have a say WITG the tow company. I would press them on that. Unfortunately, it sounds like they properly notified you, had a proper reason to ask you to move your vehicle, and gave enough notice. The only possible out you have is if they did not notify you of the tow. But it sounds like you weren't checking mail or email regularly while you were traveling. Check your mail and email. If you did not get proper notice of the tow, there may be a valid claim here. Otherwise, you're Saul. I have some advice for readers of this thread, and for you for the future. First, check your email and physical mail regularly, preferably at least once a week. You would be surprised at the number of people who end up with a warrant because they didn't notice that they had a jury duty notice, or who had a default judgment because they didn't check their mail. Second, if you are traveling longer term, put the landlord on notice letting them know that you will be traveling and to keep an eye on your apartment and notify you via whatever method works for you about any issues. Third, have a friend check your mail and check in on your place occasionally. You can save yourself a heap of trouble with that. Fourth, though not related to this scenario, get renter's insurance. It's cheap and it can be oh so valuable. Step number 1 is to stop the auction. Don't listen to your adversaries. Towing company advise that nothing can be done to stop it. Get your attorney and have them work with the towing company to stop the auction before it's too late. If it is even real, then pay them to stop accumulating damages and get the car back. Then explore if you are able to collect damages from the apartment complex or not, possibly via small claims court. I'd argue, as a layman, that with no violation on your end, the fair thing to do for apartment complex was to reduce damages by getting your car towed out and then back for the duration of the work, and charging you for the one-time costs, not leaving you up and dry accruing daily fees at the towing lot. I don't see how they are able to send a car at auction after only 30 days. Especially considering they made no effort to contact you or seek payment for towing or storage fees. I don't believe they can have any kind of legal adverse possession, mechanic's lien, or any other legal avenue to possess your title and auction your vehicle after only 30 days. As is almost always the case on this sub, I encourage you to contact a local attorney immediately. I may not be helpful, but check the abandoned car laws in your state. They could possibly have you on that. Just a random thought.
If you enjoyed this video, Please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.